Jets at Saints. Drew Brees and the Saints were tested by the Jets, but in the end pulled out a victory by the final score of 31-19. Brees threw for 285 yards and 2 touchdowns in the win. Michael Thomas was, of course, his favorite target, bringing in 9 balls for 93 yards and a touchdown. The Saints and the Panthers now tied for the NFC South Division lead. CT, would you give the Saints the edge in this?
I probably would. When you look at what the Saints are able to do running the football and receiving the football. You mentioned Michael Thomas with the 9 grabs for 93 receiving yards. He's got 92 catches on the year. The franchise record is 98. He still got 2 games to play. Drew Brees really started looking for him in the second half of this game, and the 6'3" wide receiver really delivered. And then we know it's not just Drew Brees throwing the football. What the Saints have been able to do running the football this year. Mark Ingram went over the 1,000-yard mark, 74 yards, 131 yards on the ground as a team. If you're Coach Sean Payton, this game probably a little too close for comfort. 3 turnovers for the Saints, including 2 fumbles. But at the end of the day, Ingram was able to seal the deal with the 50-yard touchdown run. So the Saints, as you mentioned, tied with the Panthers. Both of those teams 10-4. We know this NFC South division race is so close. You had the Atlanta Falcons in the mix as well. Next week, the Saints take on the Falcons, but I really like the way the Saints are playing. They're just not one-dimensional like they have been in the past, throwing the football. They have a solid running game. Alvin Kamara was back, and he had an impact as well again.
You mentioned all of these guys that had such an impact. Do you think there's one specific guy that you think is the key player to this team?
I don't think so. I mean, once again, Drew Brees has been the player that's been there for, a long time, has led them to a Super Bowl victory. He certainly is the straw that stirs the drink, but it just doesn't fall on the arm of a Drew Brees. This defense has made some big plays as well. Cameron Jordan has continued to make some big plays this year. Marshawn Lattimore sealed this game with an interception. He could be Defensive Rookie of the Year. So Drew Brees continues to lead the way, but they have many offensive weapons and defensive weapons this year, which leads me to believe that the Saints are certainly going to the playoffs, whether they win the division or get in by a wild card spot. This team is legit.
A very, very well-rounded team. Definitely giving the Panthers a run for their money, too. For all your NFL news, keep it locked right here on Stadium.